Hello and welcome to a new video of the Road to Glory. This is the second week in league with a better team. Forgot to show it. I'll probably try and input it somewhere in between or at the end to see the new team, although I made a previous video with the team. This is a much better team, and this was a better start to the week in league than last week, which was horrible. So I started a lot better. I went up to 5-1, I believe. Here, just wanted to add this to see this penalty I won, which was really weird. I can understand how I won this penalty. Anyways, like I was saying, a better start. I was up 5 wins, 1 loss. And then I had this weird glitch that happened at the end of the 6th game that I won. That had happened to me before in FIFA 19, but I always thought it was a controller thing, so I was going out buying new controllers. I ended up buying 3-4 controllers in the span of FIFA 19, where I would open the controller and try to clean it and try to recalibrate it and stuff like that. But it always kept happening now and then at odd times, even in game, where I will move the player one way, but he will keep moving the other direction, or I would shoot one way and shoot the other direction. So it now happened. It was the first time it happened in FIFA 20. It was right after I finished the game that I won and I couldn't exit the menu. I made a little video that I wanted to post online and tag the EA people so they might have a look at it, although I doubt it, that they would care, because if they did, they would know by now, because I went online in searched and I saw that there was a lot of people talking about control glitches like that in FIFA for some time now, but nothing has been done. So I doubt that my video will make any impact, but nonetheless, I want to report it. Also here I added that so you could see how my player was fouled in the area, but nothing was given. I added a few clips like that so you can see stuff like everybody has and happens to them in games, be it division rival or weekend leagues, and you get frustrated. It happens to everybody. Sometimes are in your favor, sometimes are not. Mostly, you would think about they're not in your favor, but that's because we only remember the bad stuff that happens to us. Here is I added this clip because I went 2-3 on the 83rd, close to the 84th minute, and I paused the game. I put constant pressure. I maxed out everything on offensive, like tackles, fouls, players in the box, stuff like that. I put team press on, I put the center backs attacking, I put everything on defense. So here we start on the 84th minute, and I added this clip in real time, as you can see from the timer, to see when the players actually start to apply this pressure. As you can see, already 2 minutes have passed and all the players are standing still. I try to switch players around so I can keep them moving, but nothing is happening. Eventually, I think at the 87th minute, you will see here that all the players start to push up. So that took about 3 minutes, plus about, I would say, half a minute, that's in-game minutes, that it took him to kick off the ball. So if you are close to the 86th minute or 87th minute and you need a goal to equalize, if you don't have the ball and the player is like passing it back like you saw here, odds are you cannot do anything to win that ball back. There are no tactics, no anything in the game that will be applied instantly, so you might have a chance in those last few minutes to get a last chance or two in the game. Anyways, like I was saying with this glitch, so yeah, after that, although it fixed on its own, I didn't do anything actually. I just quit the game, went back in, and it was fine. But I was very worried that it might happen on the next game, so I kind of didn't want to play the next game. So I kind of sat there for about 2 hours not doing anything, just watching a few streamers play. Eventually I thought, if I let this go on for too long, I'm gonna be left behind on my games. So I thought I'll go into a game, but again, I didn't have the confidence because I was so worried about this. Not to say that that's to blame, but what is to blame is myself, that I didn't have the confidence I had in the first games. So I ended up losing the next 3 games, 1 or 2 in a weird way, at least 1 that I remember for sure. And then the last game of the 10 I won, so I went up 6-4. So it's a better start than last weekend, but it's not the start that I was hoping for. This week I was hoping for 9-1, 8-2. That was my goal. at least in the first two games. I had a good start and I could aim for that, but here is the glitch that I'm talking about. I'm moving left on the stick, but it keeps moving right, so it's kind of a fight between left and right. I cannot do anything. Eventually I found out that if I press left on the D-pad, that kind of overrides the stick for a second, so you can actually move it before it moves back. So I could actually move it left to advance and register the win, so I didn't have to, because I'm pretty sure if you exit this screen without clicking advance, you actually don't get the win. If I like dashboard or something, I wouldn't get the win. Yeah, so anyways, this was the weird glitch that happened. So 6-4. Anyways, I'm liking this team a lot better. I feel that it's a very good team. I think I can do a lot better. I'm hoping for the next 20 games, I'm going to get at least a better finish than last week, which was a very bad finish for me. That's going to be it. Today, I'm thinking of doing the next 10 games, but with the icon swaps that came out last night, which was another show by EA of not being able to do one thing right, apparently, where everybody was expecting the icon swaps at 6 and nothing was happening. And eventually, half an hour later, EA came up with a tweet that they had some technical difficulties, like they always have. And I think the icon swaps started like a couple of hours at least later. So the icon swaps came out, as you all have seen them, and the tokens seem easily obtainable, all of them. They don't seem to be any in the SBCs like they were in the FUT swaps, so that's a good thing since you don't have to pay for getting a FUT swap. Since last year, the FUT swap SBCs were like about 5-10K, which was stupid, saying that this was a free something that you were getting, but eventually you had to pay for SBCs. But anyways, the objectives look obtainable. They might take a lot of grind, but they're easy. You can do them with a lot of time or a lot of grind. So I'm thinking of putting the FUT Champions games on hold for a bit and try to grind most of the tokens that you can get. The combination that I'm thinking of actually getting, I think I'm going to go for Rio as a good center back. Like Rio, I think he could be, the baby Rio could be an endgame center back. You can have him until the end on your team. He's always proven to be a very good center back. I don't think you need any changing there. And if you put an icon center back, that leaves you a lot of space on doing hybrids on the right or on the left or however you want to. So I think I'm going to go for the baby Rio, and with that is 16 tokens if I'm not mistaken, so that leaves another 8 that you can get. And with the 8 tokens, you can also go for another 3 players. Now these 3 players are 6 for Schmeichel, and 8 for Okocha and Guardiola. And now from what I've been seeing online and in chat rooms and stuff like that, most of the people, they're going for the combination of Rio Ferdinand and Pep Guardiola. Here is the clip that I added. I added this in slow motion so you can see the game that I lost on extra time. This is where he crosses the ball. I press the button and call out the keeper to collect the ball because it's passing like a foot away from him. And as you can see, he comes out and he kicks the ball right to the attacker. You see here, I call him out, he kicks the ball to the attacker and he scores. So stuff like that happens to everybody. Try to keep your cool, don't get too frustrated. At the end of the day, just try to have fun. So like I was saying, everybody's going for that 2-player combination, mostly because you can get Pep Guardiola and not because people want him. So because of that, because you cannot get Rio Ferdinand until the second wave of tokens, I thought I might grind the first 8 fairly quickly, or as quickly as possible, and go get Guardiola and do a quick video on him and see if he's actually worth anything. Now that might be a bit risky if you go for Guardiola at the beginning, because then you might not be able to get the rest of the 12 tokens that are going to be available for you to get Rio Ferdinand. So I wouldn't recommend it for you guys that want to get Rio as a primary and with the rest get somebody else. I'm just going to do it for a video. If I'm not able to get the other 12 and get Rio, I'm just going to go for another player that I can afford with the tokens. So I'm going to try and grind the tokens for Guardiola as fast as possible and try to do a quick video, sort of like a review type of how he feels and if the 8 tokens are worth spending on. 6-4 on the first day, not a great start, but we go again tomorrow. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.